was the fall of 2018, and Boston felt like a bruise under gray skies. The kind of season where the cold didn't announce itself. It just seeped into your bones quietly like guilt. I had just moved into a shoebox apartment above a closed-down jazz bar in Back Bay, trying to restart my life with a job I didn't want and a heart I couldn't feel anymore. The year before, my little brother Nathan had died. Opioid overdose, fentanyl-laced. I found him in our childhood bathroom, curled like a comma beside the tub. He'd left a note folded into a library book, his favorite one, The Secret Garden. The handwriting said, "I'm sorry," but the ink had bled so much it looked like he'd cried while writing it. I hadn't cried since. I met Ezra in an elevator. He was humming an old Nina Simone tune, tapping the rhythm against his thigh like he was trying to hold the world together one beat at a time. I remember thinking his eyes didn't match. One was a soft hazel, the other chipped with gray like storm glass. We rode 5 floors in silence before he said, "You look like someone who's trying not to fall apart in public." I was too stunned to lie. I laughed, then I nodded. He said, "Same." Ezra was a pianist who played at the rehab clinic down the street, not for money. He called it penance, said music kept the ghost from crowding his bed. I didn't ask what that meant. Not then. We started meeting at Cafe Alchemy, this dim little place that brewed their espresso too strong and never wiped the chalkboard menus. He'd bring his composition notebook. I'd bring my sketch pad. We talked about books we never finished, exes who left in the rain, and the strange way Boston always smelled faintly of seaweed and regret. There was something magnetic about him, like he lived at a different tempo, just slightly offbeat. But if you leaned close enough, you could catch the rhythm. Sometimes when the cafe closed, we'd walk through the public garden in silence, our hands almost touching. Almost. It was on one of those nights, under a trembling willow tree, that he kissed me. It wasn't fireworks, it was quieter than that, like exhaling after holding your breath too long. He never stayed the night, said he had early mornings and late demons. I didn't push, I had enough ghosts of my own. Then came the night he left his notebook behind. I shouldn't have opened it, but I did. Pages of sheet music, scribbled lyrics, then near the back, photos, newspaper clippings, a memorial program, a name I didn't recognize. Lena Crowley, age 24, died in a car crash outside Worcester. A handwritten note below it. If I'd stayed sober that night, she'd still be here. The air thinned. I stared at the date. October 14th, 2016. That was the night I tried to take my own life. The night I checked into St. Agnes ER after swallowing 2 bottles of sleeping pills, only to wake up hours later with a nurse whispering, "You're meant for more." A nurse named Lena. I remembered her now. Ezra's Lena. I sat on the edge of my bed, shaking. My mind spiraled. What were the odds? When he showed up at my door, breathless and wild-eyed, he froze, seeing the notebook in my hands. "I didn't want you to know," he said quietly. "I knew her." I whispered, "She saved me." He staggered back like I'd hit him. "What?" That night, the ER, I was gone, but she stayed, held my hand. She said, "You're meant for more." She said your name. He dropped to the floor, crumpling like the past had weight. I drove to pick her up. He said, voice breaking, I'd relapsed. I shouldn't have been behind the wheel. She told me not to come. I came anyway. She never made it home. We sat in silence for a long time. The truth stretched between us, aching and undeniable. "I think she knew," I said, "that we'd find each other somehow." He looked at me then. Really looked. Maybe that's why she stayed. That night, Ezra stayed. He didn't play the piano for 2 weeks. I didn't draw. But slowly, we began again. He wrote a song called October Light. I painted Lena's face from memory and gave it to him on her birthday. We scattered sunflowers in the harbor that day. We still visit the garden sometimes, still walk without touching, then remember to hold hands. Some people call it fate, I call it forgiveness, woven through music, grief, and the impossible beauty of second chances.